Today we are starting our countdown to Christmas with a Christmas countdown calendar that looks like a house. Let's get started. The base of this house is made out of 2 of the Dollar Tree 12 by 12 plain blank wood signs that they have in the crafter square. And then also 1 of these Dollar Tree tags. You can get 12 by 12 plywood sheets just like this on Amazon as well. I'm going to use 2 of these wooden rulers from the Dollar Tree to put these 2 12 by 12 pieces together. And then I will attach the tag to the front in the very center. You can use your imagination with this, use different size pieces of wood to make the house look however you want it to look. I'm using 3 of these super jumbo popsicle sticks. I got them from Walmart for the roofing here, 3 on each side on top of our house. These 12 by 12 signs are also thin enough that if you have a big sturdy pair of scissors, you can cut into those, and I had to cut off the very corner on each side. I like to use, for these super jumbo popsicle sticks, I like to use my miter shears to make sort of a track and then use the scissors to cut along that line that I made. I used a combination most of the time during this project of wood glue and hot glue to attach wood to wood. And there are some places where I just used hot glue, but whenever I was doing the main structural sort of components, I made sure to use wood glue. I think something that would be neat is if you took a picture of your own house and made this countdown calendar to look like your house. They sell different sizes of these thin small sheets of plywood. They call it plywood. I don't know what else to call it. On Amazon in multi-packs of different sizes, and they're specifically for crafting. So you could buy the different size squares and rectangles that would create your house. I think that would be really neat. That is one side of the roof done, and then I'll do the other side exactly the same way. I was just winging this. I didn't have too much of a plan. Just sort of put it together as I went along, and I knew I wanted something to look like glass. So I'm using these page protectors. They are for binding, like presentation covers. They do make clear plastic for crafting, and they make clear plastic, they sell it like this as well for making stencils and such, but this route was cheaper. But you could also use just garbage packaging from different food containers and make this, this part of it free. I just made a template out of a piece of that super jumbo craft stick, and that was the template for my windows. And I made 25 windows, all the same size. Using that same plastic, I'm making a stencil. I just printed off a few different sizes. I searched on image search online for brick template, and I just printed out a few different sizes. You can size your image up and down and your print options, and it just depends on how big your house is and how big you want your bricks to be. And so I just used my X-Acto knife and cut those out on that plastic and made myself a little stencil. I painted the whole house in cashew. I thought that was a good sort of masonry color, and so, but you can use whatever color you like, but I didn't paint the roof that color. I'm going to paint it gray. I'm using these skinny sticks. That's what they call them. Sometimes you can also search for wood coffee stir sticks, and they're just really, really skinny and long craft sticks. To make the bricks raised, I was going to, at first, paint the whole house red and then take a white or an off-white colored pencil and then use a ruler and make lines for the grout and then smudge those pencil lines. I thought that would look good, but I wanted the bricks to be raised. And so I thought I would give this a try. I haven't done this before. You could actually buy brick stencils. I don't know if they would have the exact size bricks that you needed, but I have seen brick stenciling on Amazon, I believe. I'm sure maybe at craft stores they have them as well. But I was just winging this, and I got better at it. When I first started doing this, I was separating the sections too much. I should have overlapped them and put them very close together, and I caught on to that pretty quickly. And I did want these to look old. I wanted this house to look old. And so if you're going for perfection here, it would definitely have been more difficult to make these perfect. If you can get a large, maybe a 12 by 12 stencil that's bricks, that would be absolutely perfect, because they would all be laid out for you perfectly. Instead of using this little tiny stencil that I made, you're more likely to have errors using a stencil that small and getting everything lined up. The reason why I used plastic for the windows is I wanted it to resemble glass. And so I'm taking that plastic and just Mod Podging it to some chipboard, some thin cardboard, to give the windows a backing, some structure. I painted those edge bricks that I put on the edging there in cashew as well. Took a mouse trap and removed all of the hardware on it, and you can find mouse traps for cheap at Walmart and Dollar Tree. And I'm taking some more of those skinny sticks and just creating a door. You can look at pictures of different houses that you like and different doors that you like and just try to recreate that. That's usually what I do when I'm doing crafts like this. For a doorknob, I'm just taking a bead off of this necklace here, and I'm gonna make sort of a mail slot on the front, and I'm going to paint those both in truffle because that's a good base coat, to top off with some rub and buff, and I'm using European gold on the doorknob and the mail slot on this door. For the paint for the bricks, I mixed up a couple of different options for myself here and tested them out. I used True Burgundy as the base and then added 2 different amounts of brown. Brown oxide, I think, was the color, but any brown. I love the color True Burgundy. It's a good Christmas color, but I wanted it to be a little more brown. Now, at first, I did the wrong technique. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, I just dove in, and I was going to take this sort of feathered brush and just skim over the top of the bricks. And that was not a good technique to do. So I ended up having to repaint that bottom half of that wall because I messed it up. And so what I did is I took a foam brush and cut off the end so that it would be flat instead of it being pointed. And I just pounced. If you have a flat fronted pounce brush, that would be perfect. You don't want to paint all the grout in between your bricks. You want to just paint the tops. I went in between the decorative edging bricks there as well, and then I went back over that with some more cashew just to break up some of that red and make it not so solid. For the roof, I just took some gray paint. I don't even remember what color it was. Some gray paint by Apple Barrel, and I added a little bit of brown to it to tone it down and to warm it up. And just painted the roof gray. Once my glass panes were dry, I cut them all out. And now I'm making windows, the grid and the trim on the windows out of ivory colored cardstock. There are different ways you could do this. Obviously, like at first I was going to use those skinny sticks and cut them down even smaller, and I tried that and I thought that's going to take forever if I do it like that. So I decided to make my windows out of cardstock. There are several options that you could do. You could go above and beyond. It just depends on how much time you want to take on this craft. But this turned out well. I like how it looked in the end, and so I don't regret making my windows out of cardstock. And yes, I had to do all, 3 steps of those windows 25 times. I mostly just eyeballed where to put the windows, but I did use a craft stick to sort of give me a guide to try to line them up as best as I could. Now to make the little porch here, I started off using these super jumbo craft sticks, and I was going to layer a bunch together, but then I realized that's going to be kind of expensive, so I used some tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree as a filler, and that ended up looking good. I had some of these that were already pre-stained, and I used those where you wouldn't see them, and then I used the ones that I was going to stain with antique wax on the top where you would see, so that everything matched. I did make the front of that with a super jumbo craft stick to hide the edges there and to make that more clean looking. And then I had this to make the step. I had this piece of scrap wood. I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. I'm not sure. You can find very small trim, like a big long 8-foot piece of it at hardware stores for fairly cheap. I mean, they've gotten more expensive. You're probably not going to find any for less than $1 a foot now. It's gotten pretty crazy, but I just had this piece of scrap wood and I used that for the step, and then I stained them all with antique wax. To give a little more detail around the door, so I took these 2 smaller dowel rods and I'm going to make sort of a column on each side of the door, and then put this other small piece of trim that I had on the top. I bought these stickers at the Dollar Tree, and this one round one, I wish it was smaller, but it turned out okay. I thought it looked sort of like a stained glass window, and I needed something to fill that space above the door. And so at first I painted that window's trim with cashew, but then I realized the color Toasted Marshmallow by Apple Barrel matched the other windows better, that ivory cardstock color. For this part of the front wall here, I wanted to trim it out and make it look nicer. I'm going to put a sign up there in the middle, but it needs to be trimmed out. And so I used chopsticks, and I bought these from Walmart. Anytime I see wooden sticks, no matter what they're for, I just pick them up, because you never know when you're going to need a different size or shape of a craft stick. These will be a free printable all the numbers and the little Christmas sign, the countdown to Christmas sign. That will be in the description box, just a free printable. You just click the link in the description box. It'll take you straight to it where you can print it or download it. And then I needed a wreath to put on each window as you're counting down the days until Christmas. And so I have these florals from the Dollar Tree, and I just took off, a piece of it, and I'm going to attach two together and then take the ends and attach them together into one wreath. On the principle, it's the number 25 all the way down to 1. I checked other countdown calendars to make sure I was doing this right. So what you'll do is on the 30th of November, you'll, hang the wreath on the 25, and then each day you'll count down until 1, until it's Christmas Day. The way I designed the little door, there was, part of that Merry Christmas sign that goes on the door was going to be able to be bent, and so I put a piece of plastic behind it to just shore that up and make it a little sturdier so it wouldn't bend as easily. Now, I used these upholstery tacks from Walmart. I got them a while back, and they have changed the design of them a little bit, but they're still just a couple of bucks for 25 of them, so that would be exactly the number you would need. But you can get upholstery tacks at lots of places. These are these gold ones that I just showed you are from the Dollar Tree, but you would have to buy quite a few packs because it only came with a few in each pack. But I just wanted to show you that you can actually find them at Dollar Tree if they have that little nail set that had those in there when you go. I had showed you very quickly, I was trying to get this, not to be too much longer than 20 minutes for one DIY, but this was a very involved DIY. But I think it would look better instead of upholstery tacks using just teeny tiny nails, but I did not have 25 tiny nails. I only had a few, and I did not want to buy more nails, and I liked the style of the upholstery tacks, so I just used them, and they look fine. It looks fine, but I think they are a little bit bulky, and if I just had some tiny nails, that might look better. I thought I was done with the house, maybe you did too, but I went ahead and I wanted to make 2 chimneys. It needed them. So I used one more of those super jumbo craft sticks, and I put bricks on them, put a little, upper ledge on them there, just use those skinny sticks to trim it out. And I'm just going to use wood glue and hot glue and put one on each side of the house. And that's it. Once you get to 1, that's when it'll be Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, you'll hang. I did use a tiny nail on the door instead of one of those upholstery tacks. But then you would hang on Christmas Day, hang it on the door where it says Merry Christmas. And I just love how this turned out. I can't wait to use it this year and pull it out every year and use it every year to count down to Christmas. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you know someone that would like this craft, it would help out my channel if you shared this video. But either way, I appreciate you watching. This is just the first of many Christmas DIY videos. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.